This episode is brought to you by Columbia Sportswear. It's snowing again, and that wind chill is killer. But you're not worried about that because you shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection. It's warmth perfected with tiny gold dots that reflect your body heat inside and protect you from the cold outside. No snow or chilly temps can stop you now. Go out anyway. Shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection now at Columbia.com/infinity.
The holidays are a time to feel and create joy. And what could be more joyous than the look on her face as she unwraps a stunning new jewelry piece from Blue Nile? How about getting 50% off your purchase? Blue Nile offers premium quality, priced below traditional retail. Their online experts are available 24/7 to answer any questions and make sure you've picked the perfect gift. For a limited time, you can get 50% off at BlueNile.com. That's 50% off at BlueNile.com.
It's Saturday and the game is on. 10 minutes in, it's 3-0. I'm sipping back an empty can. I don't give a damn if it's 9 a.m. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer, whiskey, wine or gin. Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again. 2020, a new year. It's a new season, season 3, S3, E1 of the Shades of Blue Soccer Show. We are the Blue Testament. My name is Cody Bradley.
Cody sounds excited.
That's cool.
Yeah.
New season, baby. We have in the studio, as always, my fellow TBTers, Thad Bell and Robert Russert. And
That's the only way we want to be associated with Cody, by the way.
And that is not all. We're joined by a very special guest tonight. And by special, I don't mean Daniel Sperry.
No, we're way above that. Way, Daniel. Sorry.
We loved it. As special as Sperry is, we have a club legend tonight.
MLS legend.
An MLS legend. The one and only Jimmy Nielsen. Welcome to the Shades of Blue Soccer Show.
Thank you. Massive pleasure to be here.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to this here.
Did we build it up enough, or was that?
Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah, I
How
liked
many
it.
beers you looking for afterwards?
Depends on what we're going through the next.
All right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What agony we put him through.
At least he's honest.
Yeah. Okay, so, Jimmy, what are you up to these days? Give everyone who hasn't seen from you or heard from you in a while, tell us what you're up to.
Well, I stopped playing in 2014 and I started coaching immediately.
That's right. It always seemed like a natural progression.
It was, and I thought, and I felt comfortable and learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about the game and being a little bit on the other side, and really enjoyed 4 years in Oklahoma City.
Right.
And then I thought it was time to a little change, and for the first time in 26 years, I took a little break. I actually took the full year off with the family.
Do some traveling?
Yeah. Listen, I've always been, in my own opinion, good family man, been a lot with my family, but there's also very often I'm physically there, but I'm not there.
Right.
You know, your head is always somewhere. You're on the phone, or you're on the computer, or watching a movie, or they're asking me a question, and I'm just saying yes, and they're asking, what are you saying yes to? I think we all probably at one point
Been there, yes.
have been through that.
Yeah.
But that happened a lot when you're coaching, and I've not done anything than coaching, but you guys can probably add something into it, but your mind is always, we're out driving, they're asking me a question, and I'm making a substitute in my head, and,
Right, exactly.
and not listening to the question or
Lineup
decision, going through whatever. So I decided I needed a year where I was there, and
Good.
that was an amazing decision. That was really, really good for me. I enjoyed it. I had an opportunity to look after myself a little bit, When I stopped playing, it still enjoyed good food. I still enjoyed a good beer here and there, but didn't get the exercise. So I added a few pounds. So in 2018, I started working out every day and almost lost all of it. And then I got a new job again.
Yes.
And
that's right.
The exercise stops. I'm there again, but not there. And took the job in Hartford, in Connecticut, in the USL. I thought it was, they sold it really well to me. And long story short, we were just not the right match. And I figured that out quickly.
Oh.
And, start planning with the family what's the next move. And when the season, and I finally got my release, sat down, I had a little family meeting, and I asked my wife, where's the best place in the world we ever lived? And she said Kansas City.
Oh,
Of
man.
course.
And I agreed 100% with her. And my youngest daughter agreed with her. And our oldest daughter lives in Oklahoma, so we're a little bit closer to her as well.
There you go.
And listen, we were here from 2010 to 14, and we absolutely had the time of our life on and off the field. Not only on the field, we had a good life off the field as well here.
It's awesome to hear.
Yeah, that's how you.
Welcome back.
Yeah, you can't say anything nicer to someone from Kansas City than something about Kansas City.
Kansas City is good. You asked me before we went on, why is it so good? Well, it's a feeling you have when you come to places, like either you like it or you don't like it or you don't mind it. But the feeling when we drove from Connecticut to here with all our stuff. Not with all our stuff, with all our cats and dogs and everything.
Wait, how many cats and dogs are we talking?
We have a zoo.
Yeah.
And
Is it slightly over the legal amount for an apartment?
no,
Okay.
Careful, Thad. Careful.
I'm paying for each animal of them. So. But when I drove in here, I felt home.
Yeah.
I felt home.
Can't fight that feeling.
No,
It's there.
you can't.
Yeah.
It either it's there or it's not. This is my American home.
Wow.
We're glad to have you.
Yeah. That's and funny thing is, like, only one of us is actually from Kansas City, Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a little story to add to it. In
Let's
this
hear
whole
that.
process here, we became American citizens too.
Yes.
Yes.
I was going to ask you about that.
We did.
What year was this? Recent?
Last year.
Last year. Wow,
It was in
congratulations.
October, I believe. August,
October?
September, October, August.
I don't know why I would know better than you.
No,
I
but
remember seeing it.
in the fall in 19. That was a fun process.
Wow. And to pass that test, you probably know more about American history than a lot of Americans.
I probably forgot all about it. But when I did do the test, you get 100 questions and got our answer. Is it 6 or 7 correct? But they can pick any 10 questions out of those 100, so you got to prepare them. And when I got the book, I was like, Jesus. But we didn't have a date on it yet, so I'm going to wait till we get a date for when we have the test, and then I'm just going to study
Cram the night before.
crap out of that book.
That's how I got through
We got
college.
the 2 weeks notice or whatever you call it, and I prepared that book, and my wife were in first before me, and I was sitting with the book out there, and I honestly, when my wife came, I don't know if I was nervous. I was excited.
Yeah.
I was peaking. I told her, I cannot fail this test right now. And
Nice.
he answered me 6 questions, and I had them right. And then you have to read a sentence on an iPad and write a sentence as well, and just participate in random conversation. And
Oh, really?
went smooth.
There
So
you go.
is this that athletic training that you've been through? Like, you knew how to peak right at the right moment?
Apparently, it was all about timing there.
That's a valid question.
I swear to God, I told her I cannot fail this test.
Well, what this really is all about is, you're easier to put on an MLS roster now as you're a U.S. citizen, right? That's what this is about, right?
I have my green card pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty early. If I remember correct, in 11, I got my green card,
Yeah.
and didn't count as a foreign. So
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was not a problem.
So
How old was Schmeichel? He played till he was how old?
Schmeichel, was he 38, 39? I think
He was older than that. Okay.
I think he finished in, was it Aston Villa or
Okay.
Manchester?
So you're only 42.
I'm done. Gee.
Wait.
I have not caught a ball with my hands since I retired.
you can still play goalie and not catch. You know that.
I have
Schmeichel
not
finished-
been diving since December 2013.
Jimmy, don't get Cody started on that topic of goalkeepers.
Oh,
Avoid
no,
that
no, we're
as
not.
much as
No,
possible.
no. Later, if we have time. No, Schmeichel ended his career with Manchester City.
Manchester City.
2003.
Was he in Villa before?
Villa before that.
Yeah. And then he
And
was
how
in
old was he?
Portugal,
How old
Sporting
was he?
Lisbon.
He did in 2003. He was born in 63. 40.
Roughly,
Yeah.
40? Okay.
give or take.
Now, natural transition here. I was able to find him so quickly because I'm on your Wikipedia page. And at one point, your agent claimed that you were, quote, another Peter Schmeichel.
That was,
That was when you were signing
With Leicester.
Leicester.
I saw the headline in the newspaper too. And I don't like comparing myself to anyone.
Yeah.
I think Peter Schmeichel is by far the best goalkeeper there ever been in the world.
Ooh.
And I knew that I was not even close to be on his level, so I just turned on to the next page and
Right.
Who's
moved
the,
on
how
from
about,
that.
Moving on.
sidebar, who's the current best keeper on the planet?
That's a good question.
I mean,
That's a good
De
question.
Gea.
No, I think he dropped in level.
I think he did a little bit too. I think he's
Yes.
great, but
Yeah, Alisson in Liverpool is doing well. Very,
you like-
very, very, very modern goalkeeper. You know, he's
well,
a-
and Ederson. That was what I was about to ask. What do you
I-
think of the trend of all the fancy-footed keepers, or that you're supposed to be?
I like them. You know, this is how the game is today, and those two are amazing goalkeepers and amazing soccer players. They're very,
It's fun to
very
watch, right?
technically on a very high level as a goalkeeper, and with their feet, it's I think it's fun to watch.
Agreed. So, when I was looking, I was like, I'm going to find a very interesting question to ask him. So, naturally, I went to Wikipedia.
The source
Way
of
to
all
dig,
info.
Cody. Way to dig.
So, is it true that Norwich City discovered you at the age of 12 because they came to Denmark in a tournament and their only keeper fell ill and they were looking for a local replacement?
Almost true story.
That's good for Wikipedia.
Yeah, okay. That's about what I would think.
I
of it.
was told that when he had to take what he thought was the last step out of the plane, there was apparently another step, and he broke his ankle.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So I'm sorry, this just lends more credence to my theory about this. So, in this Wikipedia article, now on Wikipedia, you do have to add notations. You have to, if there's an assertion, you have to say where it came from. Now, this sentence about this keeper is notably absent of an annotation. And it also includes, this is so interesting to me, that this U12 team or a U13 team, it says they traveled to Aalborg to take place in a local tournament, but their only keeper, and specifies Ash Harrison, fell ill and Nielsen was recruited as a replacement. Now, the only way that name is relevant at all is if he's famous or if Ash Harrison himself made this Wikipedia entry. And now that makes it, if he fell and hurt himself, he's definitely going to write in his Wikipedia entry, I was sick. And I made this guy's career.
I have never heard of him. But I remember the tournament in Aalborg.
30 years ago.
30 years ago, and the following 3 years became, if you look back, maybe a little bit stressful, because every Friday after school, I flew to England.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, and I was there Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday I flew back home.
Well,
I was in school again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I flew to England constantly and participated in tournaments with them across the world.
Well, I was wondering because I also saw that it says at 15 they wanted you to sign a professional contract, and your mom was like, "No, he's staying
True.
here."
That is so true. And that is by far the biggest argument I ever heard my parents had.
Oh yeah. So Dad wanted you to go.
Oh, big time. My mom and Dad is picking me up in the airport, and I'm physically having the contract in my hand
Oh man.
and so excited. And my dad is waiting out in the car. My mom is picking me up. Boom, boom, boom. She said, "What's that you have in your hand?" I said, "Well, this is the contract. Give that to me." And get that excited smile out of your face. You're not going anywhere.
Oh.
And
Whoa, wow.
looking back, I think she was right in the decision she made. But 2 years later, she couldn't stop me.
Right.
I ended
17
up
at that point,
17
right? Yeah.
at that point. Ended up signing with Millwall.
Right.
In
And then
England.
wait, never playing for them? Is that correct?
I was the backup to Casey Keller. He was the number one goalkeeper there. And well, I would like to go back to when I was 12 again for that tournament.
Okay. Oh yeah, we missed that. Sorry.
So they told me they came with their reserve team, Norwich. So 3 games and we'll be knocked out, and we're flying home. We have tickets for the day after the last group game. For some reason, we ended up going to the next stage in the tournament.
Maybe their new guest goalkeeper was that reason.
That's why they wanted him.
I'll come to that later. This is time for bragging now. We ended up winning the quarterfinal. They had to put another delay on their flight tickets. We ended up winning the semifinal and
So-
had to play the big final.
This was the reserve team. Where was the main team?
They were somewhere else in Europe for a
Oh,
tournament.
okay. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah. And we ended up losing the final 1-0 to a team from Norway. But after the final, I got the goalkeeper of the tournament, and I got the player MVP too. I got the both.
Wow.
And that's how I ended up being with them for 3 years, and that was a fun experience.
So
you know?
was the team that you were on, were they not in this tournament, I guess?
No, but that's why it became so stressful for me. I trained with them all week and had to travel to.
And then you can go to Norwich on
got
the
to
weekend.
Norwich on the weekends, but when they had games midweeks, which we had a lot back then, I was playing for them as well. So
Wow.
it was a busy time for a young, and very, very hungry.
So you got a lot of minutes, though.
Yeah. So what was your mom right about? You said she was right in that decision.
It was too early for me.
Yeah.
It was a little. Then I had to stay with. Every time I came there, I stayed with a new family, and some of them you got lucky with, but some of them not as lucky, and they couldn't guarantee that I was staying with the same family all the time, which I understand. If there's family issues or family problem, all right. And that was the main reason, and I completely see that today. I didn't see it back then. Me and my dad were heartbroken.
Dang it, Mom's always right, isn't she? I just swear that's how it always
Yeah.
goes.
I mean,
Now-
that is the trend now, though. There's, 15-year-olds moving from the East Coast to play in Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
Busio.
Well, that's how it's been for years and years and years in Europe.
Right.
You know, you're
So,
scouting good talents, and they're ready to. You know, of course, school is very, very important, but at the same time, you also have a very, very short. And if you have a special talent,
So I mean,
I'm not
Cody
sa-
can
I'm
add
not-
it, but okay. So your backup Casey Keller, did he introduce you to America? What did?
so Casey Keller was very good to me in Millwall. Very nice to me, and one day I have lost my keys and my wallet and whatever I had on me. And the only phone number I could remember in my head, that was before mobile phones became popular, that was Casey Keller's. And I went down to a phone box, put the coins in, dialing his number, and he, lucky for me, he picked up the phone.
Yeah.
And I, Casey, this is Jimmy,
Saving the day.
this and this and this and this and this. And he said, just stay exactly where you are. I'll come and get you.
He didn't say
And-
Jimmy who.
He gave me £50.
Okay.
what's that, $75? He gave me $75, called the locksmith, and everything came in. And I told him, I said, well, as soon as I can get you the money. And then the following week, I wanted to pay him the money. He didn't want the money back.
Good guy, Casey Keller.
No, was this before or after he lived in the castle? Didn't he live in the castle?
Yeah, I think that was before this one here.
Okay.
He did? What?
Yeah, I think he had one in France, right?
I think so.
I've seen the show about it on TV. And then many years later, Sporting Kansas City playing Seattle. And who am I meeting on the way out to the field? Casey Keller again. Yeah.
Did you win
Old
that game?
friends.
We lost 1-0. Yep.
Of course,
I remember
only
when he was
1-0.
coming through here on the
They sc-
retirement tour, though.
They scored the last second of the game up in
Oh,
Seattle.
gosh. I feel like they still do that, don't
Yep.
they?
Lost 1-0.
Bastards.
Yep.
Was that the one that they did the throw in like farther up the field than they should have?
No, that was a few games later in Seattle. Yes. Stole 20 yards. That was last minute, too. We lost 1-0.
That was like
Last
that was
second.
A theme.
Yeah.
That was a theme against Seattle. There
Yeah.
for
I know.
3 or 4 years.
I was unfortunate about it.
You got revenge on him in the Open Cup.
We did. We did.
The
See, look
Open
at him.
Cup.
Always looking on the bright side. Finding
Wow.
all the positive. I like it.
What's
Eddie
funny about that
Johnson.
is that definitely plays the guy on this podcast with the negative view every time. I'm relentlessly positive, and I always make him say the negative one.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's true.
I haven't seen that yet. Or heard.
I do think Eddie Johnson's shot still has yet to come down.
Yeah.
Yet to land,
So-
baby.
If we can talk about that moment for a split second.
Well, hold on. How about this? We are starting here for this new season. It's the 25th season in MLS history. We're starting a 25-year look back. Something. Yes. No, we don't have a name for it yet. I'm sorry. I thought I was gonna come up with it on the fly right there. No name for this yet. But this season we're gonna try to have a bunch of former players and people that have been with the club for a long time, so we can look back at these years. So this is a perfect story to start off the 25-year look back. Right?
2012 U.S. Open Cup. PK shooter.
Well, before that, are we going for the double rainbow?
Yeah,
You remember that?
I have a picture of it.
We have a horrible storm before the game. The game got delayed. And when you're walking out, I've never seen a double rainbow before in my life. Have you?
No, this is my dad's first ever soccer game, by the way.
Was it?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, great one. But I'll make it short.
Yo, we got time, man.
That penalty shootout, when Eddie Johnson missed that PK, it's not very often that I'm in a deep sleep at night. I sleep very light. And you know that face just before you fall to sleep, when I think back on that game and just before the stage I pass out, I can still feel the stadium shaking. I can still feel it.
Yeah.
And I bet you, if there was a camera on my face when I went to sleep, I'm falling to sleep with a big smile on my face there. I can still feel the stadium was so loud. I can still feel it's shaking.
How about what was the look on his face as he was about to take it?
No idea. Yeah. Yeah. No idea. Let me see. That's the double rainbow. You got a picture
So
of it.
beautiful.
Showing Jimmy a picture of the double rainbow. Cody always tells me showing pictures on the podcast is not very good, but
No. When I walked out of the tunnel for the warm-up, but there's another one for that game with the storm, and they're asking everyone to leave the stadium. And I thought they were leaving the stadium, so when that rain is going down and down and down and down, I had a bad habit when I played of doing something stupid before the games, so we'll skip that. And after the games, we'll skip that as well.
Okay.
But I was going for one of them, and I just put my head out to the stadium, and the whole Cauldron were still there. Everyone have taken off their shirts and standing there like, I can't swear now on the radio here, but
no.
Oh, this is not radio.
we swear, don't worry.
This is not radio, so you can.
I can
we,
swear.
We will not
Oh,
get
yes.
overly vulgar, but you can swear. Yes.
Can we use the F word?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, do it, man.
Fucking A, you can.
I was
Okay?
fucking pumped there. I was pumped. And there's a picture from.
Oh,
Okay, I'll stop showing
he's got
pictures.
it. No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's a picture of Jimmy with his daughter.
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely adorable.
And she's 13 now.
I was about to say,
Where the
so
hell is she
13
gone
now?
now? Damn it. Yeah. Nice.
8 years ago now.
So, yeah, time is flying.
2012, that just seems like a few years ago.
It did. Well, I started in 2010. And had a random text from an agent I've never heard about in my life. Do you have any interest in coming to Kansas City Wizards? And
just out of the blue, like
out of nowhere. I've never spoken to the guy before.
Never spoken to the guy, and probably didn't know. Did you know Kansas City?
I did not. I'll come to that in a second then. I'm texting back, and maybe how serious is this year? It's very serious. The coach wants to speak to you after their training is done. I said, well, have him call me. And you got to remember, I'm still under a 5-year contract in Denmark there.
Okay.
But told them that I would like to seek another opportunity. And called me, and Peter Vermees were just amazing on selling the whole thing.
Yes,
He's a good salesman. If he ever needs to, he can probably go into selling used cars.
He is amazing, and everything he said was just spot on. And I think we agreed on that deal in 5 minutes. Then it was my job to get out of my deal back in Denmark.
Right.
And I'll make it short. I'm going forever here now.
Well, you knew you were going to be playing in a minor league baseball stadium.
I did not.
Every second of
You
this.
did not.
So.
Okay.
He didn't sell you on that
He
part?
failed to mention that.
I didn't know about the stadium, and I didn't know about the tornadoes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
But here's the funny one with the stadium. So I'm flying in to meet the team out in Arizona, and they only had 2 or 3 days left there. And then they were flying back, and they had 2 to 3, maybe even 3 days off before they were training again. But I couldn't afford that where I was with my fitness and form, so I needed to train those days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm asking, hey, I said, I need training. So goalkeeper coach took me out, boom, 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 texted me address, and I'm driving out there. I'm like, this is not bad training field, blah, blah. He said, no, this is the stadium. I said, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, you can't play soccer here. He said, oh, yeah, you can. Oh, yes, you can. But
You can't watch it there.
Did you know baseball at that point? Like you were like, I'm in the outfield.
I knew of it. But I will say, I think that the club and the fans got their very best out of that situation.
They did.
It was not bad. It was not bad. Of course, you can't compare it to the new stadium, but it was not bad.
Not bad. That is a shining. Yeah, I like that.
I think that's a very positive way to put it. We got the best out of that stadium that they could.
Yes.
Especially considering they wouldn't let them move the pitcher's mound, so they couldn't put the field closer to the stands.
Yeah.
So that was kind of stupid.
That I didn't know, but yeah.
Okay, so then the question you have to ask everyone new to MLS is, are you surprised by the level of quality? Like when you got here, what did you think of the quality of
So
quality?
everyone told me what everyone have said for many years, MLS is a retirement league. And I don't agree.
Okay.
Not in 2010. I can't speak from what happened in the years before, but
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I think, every year things develop. But I think from 2010 until 2020, it has really taken off.
Yeah,
Listen, with quality of players, with quality of stadiums, with quality of training facilities, academies, the investment in coaches and staff, and live on TV, getting good times on ESPN, and it's has really taken off to be a very attractive league. And now you see those good players who normally come here when they were 32, 34. Well, they can come here now when they're 27, 28, 29 in their prime of their career, because the money is there now as well.
MLS 3.0, baby. Right?
I think it's been through a tremendous development. I think the league has been phenomenal, and the teams and the clubs have developed with the right pace. And why I'm saying that, I'm going back to the USL I've been in for the last 5 years. Is also developing, but in my opinion, developing way too fast.
Okay.
I coached there in 2014 with 14 teams. And last year when I coached it, there were 36 teams.
Yeah.
And
there's more coming.
I'm not saying the talent is not there. It's there. And it's still pretty attractive, but you got to question marks some of the leadership and ownerships in those teams. Why are they having a circuit team?
I'm going to put you on a small spot, and you can just tell me to shut up. But could that be part of why you may not have stayed in one of the places you stayed recently?
Correct.
Because I've heard some stories about that team. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to put you on that much of a spot. So I'm not going to do that.
That's for beers afterwards, right?
There was some rumors about one of the teams not doing the right things by their players and payments and some other things. And sounds like some coaches and players stuck it out and did the right thing that they didn't necessarily deserve. But I don't know if that's been fixed or is improving. Or
I just think it's growing too fast. I think that the league has to be a little more critical and do a little more background check. Mm-hmm. Why is it this guy wants a team? In my opinion, you got to do it for the right reason, because you're moving a lot of people from all over the world into this project here. And if you end it for the wrong reasons, all those people, they're going to leave again. And it's sad for the community too. Right. Mm-hmm. Fan bases are getting built, and they want to see good performances. They also want to see consistency in players staying instead of they have to rebuild it every year.
Right.
But it comes down to a little bit of quality of leadership.
That's been a common problem in minor league soccer here, minor league sports in general.
Not only here.
The baseball stadium that you used to play in, they don't have a tenant right now because that team is gone.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't make their payments. I understand there's a lot of weird stories to that. That's not just blaming them, but
instead of focus on that right now, I think we should give the credit to the MLS. I think that has been a phenomenal development in the 10 years that I've been in America.
With one of the kind of bridging the story there, the academies, and with Sporting, with their second team in the USL, Swope Park Rangers, now the boring SKC2, playing in that same league as teams like Oklahoma City and Hartford and these other teams they're going for championships, absolutely going for championships and wanting to play. And Sporting really having played well the first 3 years, but now it's definitely more focused on developing young guys. They had 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds playing a ton of those games. What do you see that, and this is probably diverging a little bit from where we were supposed to be, but surprise. What do you see that as a good thing, or do you care?
Well, it depends which shoes you're in. If you're in Kansas City's shoes and they have Swope Park in a very, very competitive league, it's fantastic.
SKC2.
SKC2.
R.I.P.
I'm still
2020. SKC2.
Wizards,
Well, SKC2 are in a phenomenal competitive league where they're getting some good experience and playing against some good teams and learning a lot the hard way. And I think that's the way you learn the fastest when you're young players in development. You need to be challenged week after week after week, and they are. Are you in the other shoes? Are you coaching in Oklahoma? Are you coaching in Hartford and going to play Kansas City too? Well, one thing is you have no idea what team they're coming with.
Right, yeah.
No idea. We played here with Hartford. I have not seen Sporting dropping down any players in the past 10 games.
Until you showed up.
Until we showed up. They dropped down 8 guys from the first team, and we got absolutely smacked. I think we were down 3-0. 3-0 after.
Kellen Rowe scored a couple.
He did. It was...
only goals he scored for the club.
It was... Listen,
He's a very good USL player at this point.
It's when you're on the other side, it's not fun to play against the two teams because you don't know what you're preparing for. You would like to have a decent idea what you're going into, but you don't know. So they got to find a way there, in my opinion, because yes, some teams are really competing for championships. Other teams are all about development. Maybe they should use the League One as a more development league.
I know it does seem like USL is pushing that to drop all the 2 teams down one level for that purpose.
Yeah, but that's not easy. You invited them in when you needed the league to grow, and then you
that's
have the
problem.
team you want to F them off. That's not the right way to do it either. You got to find the right balance too, and they probably paid a shit ton of money for that franchise too.
Well, when they put in promotion relegation between USL leagues, I think that's probably the solving point right there.
I think that should be the guinea pig for promotions and relegations, but I also know at the same time it's probably not going to happen in my lifetime. Listen, you pay $200 million for a franchise in the MLS, and you pay $7 million for a franchise in the USL.
Yeah.
They're not just going to let them swap like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely
well,
no chance.
Nobody will pay that if,
no
if there's
chance.
a chance of that.
No chance. No chance. So
yeah.
I don't think in my lifetime that's going to change. And listen,
I
I
don't
found
see
it
those
I found it weird where I came from, but I think I adjusted quickly to the American system, and I absolutely love it now. I think there's a lot of excitement. I still believe maybe the supporter shield winners should get a little more credit.
There we go. I'm on that
You're
train.
a big issue there, but
I did until now when they don't play each other. No, all the MLS teams
Yeah.
don't play each other anymore.
It does. Yeah, the way that
That's
the schedule
true.
changes.
That is true. Some teams might have an easier schedule than others now. So.
yeah.
It's dampened the importance a little bit, and I hate
But it was
that.
not like that when I was there. It was the same games against the same opponents, and I didn't think the supporter shield winner back then got enough credit.
Yeah.
Well, I
Or
don't
do
know
they
which
now?
way we're going here, but
How about
history or
We're
whichever.
we're
Okay.
still on club history here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
But
we'll
let's
diverge in a minute.
let's take a break really quick.
All right.
We'll be back with more Shades of Blue Soccer Show.
But it's a football night. But it's a football night. We can gather all our friends all around the tomb. That's not a better thing to do. But it's a football night. But it's a football night. When the final whistle blows, we're gonna celebrate tonight. When the final whistle blows, we're gonna celebrate tonight. When the final whistle blows, you know we're gonna feel alright.
All right, we're back, and we're gonna start off with a few rapid fires. We'll
Are
see
you
how
ready for
rapid.
this, Nielsen? Come on.
Rapids.
we'll
That's
see how
Colo-
rapid
That's
they are.
Colorado.
They might not be. That.
Don't even go there.
No,
Nobody wants to go
a
there.
fire. He said Rapids Fire, Chicago, Colorado.
Nobody wants to go there. Okay, the funniest player from your time in Sporting Kansas City history.
Kei Kamara.
And we're not talking about looks. We're talking about.
Okay, your best friend that you had.
Daviano.
Oh, we love Davey.
Worst game that you can remember.
Worst game or worst result or worst loss or what?
Any way you want to interpret it. Personal game, worst sporting loss. It was all good times, right?
See, that's where if I have to give myself some credit, I get rid of that shit in my head quickly.
Oh, there you go. That's
I
good.
really have to dig deep here. I think it was a very, very painful loss when we lost to Houston. And we lost 2-0 in the first conference. Was that conference final?
That would have been 12.
Yeah. And we won 1-0 at home where we absolutely dominated the game. Seth scored a phenomenal goal halfway in second half. And listen, in that game, I didn't touch the ball the whole game, which was good.
Yeah.
We completely dominated, and I think we had probably deserved a step further already a year earlier. But listen, it led to something else, and I won't take that away from us.
Okay. Most hated MLS player from your period here.
Beckerman?
No surprise there.
Yeah.
Okay, and my last one, I don't know if you guys have some, but the best player in the league at that time.
Thierry Henry?
Easy answer on that one, I guess.
If you could take any of your MLS teammates to start a new team, assuming they were in their prime, who would it be?
From when I play, former teammates?
Yeah.
I think I saw pretty early that Matt Beasler had something special.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is a phenomenal center back. He's a fantastic teammate. I think he has all the tools, and that's already been proven, to play on a very highest level. And if MLS hadn't developed like it did, he would probably have been in Europe too. But phenomenal player. I was very lucky to play with a lot of good players there. I think we had a fun and a scary good team. Listen, Roger Espinosa, one of the best teammates ever. You know, that is a team player. Beyond everything else, he doesn't think about himself. It's all about the team. Really
Big Roger Espinosa podcast here. We like to gush over him. So
I am a big Roger fan.
Yeah.
I think he's a phenomenal player, phenomenal teammate. I don't even remember the question.
Well, I was asking if you could take one of your teammates to start, like in their prime, to start a new team. Who would it be? And you said Matt. But
Yeah.
Beasler and Espinosa are the two I got from that.
Yeah, unfortunately there's a lot of fans out there that don't appreciate Roger because he's not the goal scoring assist leader of the world, but they don't understand all that he does in a team.
He is doing a lot of dirty work. He's the guy that allows other players maybe to shine.
That's
because he is doing all the dirty work he's doing, and that gives the opportunity for the new forward you're getting from Mexico. What's his name?
Alan Pulido.
Yeah, you know, maybe allows him to shine because Roger is there behind to do a lot of dirty work, and he can do what he's good at, scoring goals.
They might be needing to find the new Roger because Roger is getting a little bit up there. He's still got some good games.
I think that's not very often you find a player like Roger. And I think the last few years he has left him, you should really enjoy it because he is a special player.
That really was a great core from those early days, though, from Beasler and Zusi and Espinosa, Seth, all those guys that stuck around for most all of that time. You throw Benny in there who left and came back. And that was pretty special having all those guys.
It was, and I think we were one of the first team, in my opinion, that had a clear style,
an identity.
We were one of the first team in the MLS there. Like, everyone knew how Sporting Kansas City were going to play. Mm-hmm. Everyone.
Yep.
But you never knew what Red Bulls was going to do. You never knew what Dallas were going to do. You didn't know what Seattle were going to, but everyone knew what Sporting were going to do. But we became so damn good at it, and it didn't matter how much they knew about us.
Exactly.
Yes. And that is a big credit to the organization, to the coach. But what I found extremely fascinating is the transition they made from being that physical, threatening team, direct style, high aggressive press, to kind of be a little tiki-taka team.
A little tiki-taka. It's exactly right.
And still being very successful. That normally takes years to change that. And again, I am probably the biggest Peter Vermees fan in this country here. Massive credit to him for that.
So let's talk about that just a little bit more. What does he do so well? What is something that really just stands out about Peter to you? That
he knows what he wants. He's very clear with his idea. I think he knows what he wants, and listen, if you don't bring what he wants, you'll get a chance. But if you don't ready to shift in the direction that he wants to go in, we'll find someone else who wants to buy into this here. And we had a roster of 28, 30 players. Everyone were buying in. Were you playing? Were you not playing? Everyone were buying into it.
And if they didn't buy in, they were gone.
They were gone. They simple as that. There was no secret. Listen, if you don't fit in, out. And his eyes for talent back then, when drafting were very important, was spot on with a lot of players. They were drafted pretty low down. Mm-hmm. And
so you got the Beasler and the Zusi and the Espinosa out of that draft.
You did.
And some of the players that he wanted to draft that maybe went a little bit earlier than what they had to pick, he brought in later, like Seth.
Yes, and when you play for Peter, you really want to die for him out there. He is an amazing motivator. When he speaks, you listen. I have also experienced a guy who didn't listen and out. So simple. But he is clear from day one, this is what I want.
Is that something you try to emulate when you're coaching?
Yes, a little bit. But what I also think is very important as a coach, you yourself.
Right.
If I try to be Peter Vermees, I would fail.
Right.
Got to be you.
Yeah, I got to be me, but that doesn't mean I can't steal something from Peter and put my own twist on it.
Right.
Sure.
That's what I'm trying to do. If Peter tried to be Jose Mourinho, he would fail. If Mourinho tried to be Peter, he would fail. You know, I think it's important you're honest to yourself, and the players will quickly recognize you're trying to be someone you're not. Deep respect for that guy.
So a little bit more of the history thing. Let's go back to the 2012 Open Cup run or the MLS Cup 2013 run. What is there something that occurred along the series of those occurrences that maybe the regular fan wouldn't know of that really made a difference? A certain struggle the team went through, or a moment within the team that made a difference? Is there anything that really stands out to you in either of those title runs?
Well, when I came in 2010 and were part of the team the first year, I didn't feel like the team spirit. I didn't feel like we're going to take this year to the next level.
It's hard in a baseball stadium.
That was not the baseball stadium's fault.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good players, but I don't think we had a good team. And in 11, made a lot of changes. You could feel we're onto something good here. We're onto something really good here. And I think we're growing and getting better and better. We had a rough start in 11.
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? With all those away games.
Right.
And
Only one result on the road, that, if I remember right.
I know. Was that against Chivas?
Well, that was kind of not a real team.
Right.
No. No, but that was the moment in 11 that I felt we're onto something right here. I know we struggled with the results, but we also all knew we are getting our home games, and we got to get the results here. And I thought we took off tremendously and just kept building on to that, and made a few adjustments for 2012 and made a few adjustments for 13. When you have a good core of group of guys, it's of course important to keep the consistency, keep the balance in the team, not too many changes. And I think a lot of MLS teams is trying to do what Kansas City have done for years now, like small changes every year. They made one big change after 10, where a lot of rotation, a lot of new players coming in. Was it 10 or 11? Don't remember the years, but that doesn't matter. But my point is, the key to succeed is the consistency.
Mm-hmm.
So the 2013 MLS Cup run, we could pick up many moments. Seth's goal in the playoffs, Benny's ball for Dwyer and Dwyer's goal in the playoff run. Many moments. What is something within the team, in the locker room maybe, that occurred that really spurred that run maybe?
I think we came to a point, this group has been together for a while, that we could be honest with each other without anyone being too sensitive. Mm-hmm. You know, the first reaction when anyone gets some critique is getting in the defending mood, and you're not kind of getting anywhere. But we played with open arms and trusted each other, and were not afraid to give a message to a player who didn't do his work. Everyone makes mistakes. But that was the good thing. When someone made a mistake, there stood 27 guys to catch that one guy. And I think when someone didn't do their work, there was also 27 guys standing right there and telling this guy, if you want to be a part of this here, you better put the work in, or you can get the hell out of here.
So as captain, what was your part in that?
No, I think I played a decent part of it.
Yeah.
I was straight up with my teammates. You know, I've been other places where I've seen things work well, and can we implement some of that in this locker room here? We'll have a fair chance to be successful, but we got to be honest. We got to be honest with each other. We got to hold each other accountable. You got to take responsibilities in your role in the team. We all only playing a little role in the team. No one is bigger than the team. Yeah. And we had a phenomenal locker room. I am telling you, that was fun to come to work.
It always seemed like it.
Jesus, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
You came with a smile to that place and you left it with a smile, and at the same time you worked your butt off.
Yeah.
So was there any city you didn't like going to when you played in Major League Soccer, that just the fans are just rude or obnoxious, or you just didn't like the city?
No, see, I like that.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. There you go.
I like that when there's a little heat on,
Yeah.
and the opponent's fan are a little crazy or loud or whatever. I love coming places like that. That's a massive motivation for me.
Good.
Massive motivation.
So did any city stand out in that area?
Well, I'll be honest, and it's probably not very popular, but it's always fun to come to Portland and play.
Yeah, Portland and Seattle. It was, yeah.
Well, what the 22,000 or whatever can fit in Portland Stadium can do compared to the 70,000 they do in Seattle, it's still like night and day. It is an incredible environment. It is a fantastic atmosphere they're creating.
So Portland's that much better than Seattle.
In my opinion, yes.
Timbers fans will love you.
It's a lot more intense.
And they have a chainsaw.
The intensity from the
And they have
support.
a chainsaw.
And they have a chainsaw.
In Kansas City, it's like it's a little bit too big, and it's not the same pressure and intensity like there is in Portland and in Kansas City.
Okay, let me set the... Okay, go ahead, Bo.
No, go ahead.
Okay, set the stage for you here. MLS Cup 2013. My man's got a broken rib. It's like 12 degrees outside. You're sliding around in the box. 90 minutes goes. 120 minutes goes, and you have to block penalty kicks.
Yeah.
What was the confidence level going into the? Did you think that Sporting Kansas City was going to win those penalty kicks?
I don't know. But what I will say, and that's a little bit disappointing, is for me personally, it was not fun.
Well, it didn't look like it.
It was not fun. I was in pain and probably should not have played that game. I was in pain.
Well, and I assume
I could not get out of my own bed. I could not sit down on the toilet.
Oof.
I did not warm up before the game. I could not, but I didn't want to miss that one. I took injections with painkillers and everything, tried everything. I had a shot in my ass. I had shots directly into my ribs, everything. It was...
well, so did you
it
know?
Was... Huh?
Did you know that could have been your last game? Is that why you were...
Yeah,
is that why you felt like you had to stick around?
I had physically a tough year. I had meningitis twice as well before that, and never took the right time to recover from that. I went on the hospital on a Monday. I got out of the hospital Wednesday afternoon. Where did I go? Straight out
Training
Swope
ground.
and trained. And I played Saturday. And the second time I woke up in Canada against Montreal with the exact same feeling like when I had it. I'm like, fuck, I got meningitis again.
Yeah.
But the damn problem was we had a game in the night. I played that game. I went straight to the hospital when we landed in America, in Kansas City.
True legend.
At the hospital Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Got out of the hospital Tuesday. Where did I go? Swope Park. Trained. I was brutal on myself that year. I did not allow myself to recover. So going into that game, to answer your question, I had a feeling it could be my last game. But I don't know my reaction if we haven't won the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. But after we won that game, that's it.
Can you remember what happened when the last shot did not go in?
Oh, my God. It was...
Well, that you didn't really seem to know that it didn't go in, I think is where he was getting at. You had to do the double take, the look back. Oh, okay, we won.
But few things in that P case. Don't remember. They had a shot where they hit the post, inside of the post and in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it was over there. I thought they missed that one because I didn't see the ball going in on the other side.
You heard it.
I just heard it hit the post. So I thought for a split second we had one there. Second one, I got pissed that I didn't have to shoot before Collin.
Wait, you got pissed?
Pissed. Collin had been so bad
Yes.
leading up to this final in penalty shootouts.
I remember Vermees saying that too. Like he was like the last person that they wanted to take.
He was horrible. And then he ended up probably with the best PK of every one of them.
Stone
no
cold
probably
PK.
about it.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
As well as you played in that game, I mean, you deserve all the credit for playing in that game, period. But Collin has to be the MVP for that game because of what he scored and then the PK.
And also the controversy that he could have, perhaps should have gotten a second yellow. You know, I just love it. That's so
followed
that
him
game.
throughout his career.
No,
God,
that was another guy I would bring to my team if I started up a new team.
Collin.
Aurélien Collin. What a player and what a teammate.
Yeah.
That is one of the best teammates I ever had in my life.
I wish I could remember the quote that he gave me, like, because I got a lot of good quotes from you guys when you were first starting back then, because there wasn't anybody else doing that sort of thing. But I want to say that he would, like, I forget exactly what he said, but he said something like, "I will kill for you," and that's kind of how he played.
Yeah,
he went out he would do whatever it took to win a game.
He would. I
sometimes wish he'd stay home a little bit more.
The good old days, man.
He was like a frustrated number 10.
Yeah.
Or 9, rather.
I think I can share this story here now. This is not going to hurt anyone. Collin showing up to practice, been out having a little fun the night before.
Oh, no doubt.
And I could smell it.
You can't hide that. You sweat it out the next
I said
day.
to Collin, you're a fucking asshole. Listen, we have a game on Saturday, and boom, 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 boom. And he said, "Oh, don't worry about it." I said, "You don't do that. Maybe you can in the fucking off season when we have a bye or whatever, but it's just a few days till the game here." I said, "You're fucking letting everyone down." He said, "Don't worry about me." I said, "If you're playing like shit on Saturday, I'm gonna call you out in the meeting we have Monday. I'm gonna call you out." He said, "Don't worry about me." By far, the best player on the field Saturday night, Aurélien Collin.
Who was the game against? Do you remember?
I don't remember that, but I remember his message to me when we came in the locker room. I sat down, came and kissed me in my forehead and said, "Do you still love me?" Yeah.
Well, good for him, but I think you should take some credit there. You gave him some accountability. He's like, well, I can't, Jimmy knows I can't make him mad. So I think you gave him some accountability, and he knew he had to play good that game.
No, he was phenomenal. I thought he was a phenomenal teammate and a good player for Kansas City.
Yeah, he's one that I understood why they moved on. That's just the players move on and things like that. But he was one of the guy I really hated to see go. And every time still when he comes to Kansas City playing for another team, he'll say hi to me.
He has a brilliant personality. He's a great outgoing guy. And if you have a chance to get him know a little bit better, amazing person too. They'll throw everything he has in his hands to help. Brilliant person. Big heart.
Yeah, I agree. I told him about a fundraiser for a charity thing that was going on, and he's like, "Can I come?"
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he was at a charity event that I held. Too.
That's Collin.
Yeah.
That's Collin.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And what was the question leading to all this here?
How did we get to that? I forgot.
Ask him if he remembered the last shot.
Again, oh yeah. Again, we told you we do that here.
I heard the last shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crossbar.
Yeah.
So one little thing about that last one in the MLS Cup, I don't know if you ever go back and watch the video of it, the ball moves just as he takes the shot.
No.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Right before just as he runs up, just before he connects, the ball rolls forward a little bit. It has to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, give him the ball a little momentum.
Right.
So I think it was the Cauldron collectively intake, of breath, and the ball rolled forward.
Sucked it towards them.
I agree.
And then I think it was the 2020, the Open Cup, when you were staring at the little paper forever.
Yeah, I meant to ask about that.
Like staring down not necessarily staring down, but psyching out the opponents.
Like you said earlier, you were whipping out all the tricks to get on the
And
field.
do you remember what I had on the paper?
Well, I remember I remember that you told me one thing and Pasquarella told me another.
All right. Well, I had the paper in my hand.
So what was on it?
You tell me.
You
I
said
asked you
nothing.
nothing.
I was gonna say, I bet it's absolutely nothing.
Sorry, I didn't quite
Whoa,
get
sorry.
that.
Oh,
Could you please?
There was nothing on the paper.
Setting off their assistant. Nothing. That's beautiful.
Okay.
Blank piece of paper.
Okay, so in case anybody could hear that, Robert's playing with his phone when he's supposed to be.
No, it was the voices it heard.
It's listening.
So Pasquarella, I think, said that there was information on there.
Well, then I got the wrong sheet.
But I remember you looking at the paper, like look up at the next kicker, look at the paper, look up at the next kicker, and then okay, and then put the paper aside.
I swear there was nothing on that paper.
I have the pictures. I can zoom in and find out.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So there was 2 good trophies. 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Yep.
Done in legendary style. Speaking of legendary, when I was preparing for this, I was just instinctually going to say a Sporting KC legend. And then I was like, wait a second, maybe I should double check here. And I looked, and inexplicably, somehow, you do not officially have the title of a Sporting legend.
Bullshit.
Yeah, what is this? What is this? Josh Wolf is on that list, people.
Which, by the way, would have been the last guy to vote on that list.
Ugh, a
don't
travesty.
listen for all the good things that we had here in the years. I don't need a title for that. The most important for me is the memories and the good results that we made together. So I don't need a title for that.
I think they got to save some of the good ones for the future.
I don't need a title for that.
When I start a soccer Hall of Fame for Kansas City, you'll be on the first ballot.
Boom. Our personal rule book.
All right. I've been working on this for several days now, but I've done, because of the changing of the decade, the end of the decade, I did an all-decade team for the Kansas City Comets. I did one for FC Kansas City. And for those, I've got various coaches and other people to give me their all-decade team, if they were going to do so. I'm doing one for Sporting Kansas City right now, and I've gotten some broadcasters and some other people around. But would you be willing to contribute to the all-decade team for Kansas City?
Of course.
You don't have to do it here on air, but you can if you want.
Yeah. What positions are we looking for?
So what I was going for was a game day 18. Who would, if you were going to fill out a game day roster with anybody who played for Sporting Kansas City from 2010 till now?
Okay.
We're not counting Polito.
Putting him on the spot here.
Okay. We'll need Beasler on the team. We'll need Seth on the team. We need Susie on the team. We need Espinosa on the team.
Colin?
We need Collin on the team. We need Ili Sanchez on the team.
All right.
We'll need Kei Kamara on the team.
Kai's at striker. Wingers.
Yeah, that's actually what I was looking at right now in my head. Who the hell was that? We had CJ Sapong and Teal there.
Yeah.
We had Bobby Conway. Oh, he
No,
was crap.
not. You can't do Bobby Conway.
No, he was crap.
How about a current winger on the team that I would put on my...
Omar Bravo, Claudio Bieler.
No.
For neither of those?
No.
Dom?
Dom is a good potential, but probably not as a winger. But
Maybe Kai's backup.
maybe put Kei out wide. He had some good games wide.
There you go,
He
yeah.
was more wide when he was here.
Right. He wanted to be in the middle, but
I know, but I thought he did a lot of damage out wide.
he did.
Would you put Arnaud on there?
Say it again.
Would you put Davy Arnaud in there?
Davy Arnaud, I think he deserves a spot. I think we're missing a little creativity here.
Yeah, how about an attacking midfielder?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now.
Benny?
We're on the same page, man.
Benny could be a great option.
You got Benny, you got Felipe.
Benny's still winning there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be Benny.
Yeah.
On top of my head here.
I mean, he's done it longer for the team. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would be in goal?
Well, that's got to be 50-50. if we can split a half each, me or Timelia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the start.
I don't care. As long as I get 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you haven't mentioned a particular name that I heard anyway, Zuzi?
I did.
He said,
He did.
yeah.
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 I was listening for Johnny Russell.
Johnny Russell, that would be a great winger.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only done it for 2
Let's
years.
see.
but-
So center back would be Matt and Aurélien or Ike or somebody else.
he said Collin.
Yeah, I go
You did?
Matt,
Okay.
Matt and Collin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you said Seth on the outside. How about another outside back?
We had Chance Myers as a
there
right
you
back, which I thought turned into be a phenomenal right back. Fitted in perfectly in the way we played. I think that would be nice to give him that position.
How about, so where would you play Zusi? I guess that's probably a good question.
Fuck.
He
where we're
did
putting
midfield,
Susan.
winger, or outside back?
Well, when I played with him, he was more attacking mid or winger.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can put a midfield in there with Davey, Seuss, and Espinosa, can we put Eli Sanchez on the bench?
You can
Oh,
put
yeah.
whatever you want, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's available, I think. He'd play.
Dom on top, Kai, and
Ooh, that's a good.
see, you killed me on that Johnny Russell. Yeah, Johnny Russell.
Kai, Johnny, and Dom. I'd take that.
That would be
Well, you got to remember, you're putting me on the spot here.
He did really put you on the spot.
I told you you didn't have to answer. I told you you didn't have to answer.
No, I like this here.
Good game. It's definitely a good game.
Yeah. No.
I think that's a good team. We went through the whole lineup there.
It's good. It's there's some similarities to what I put out there.
We're missing Benny on this team. I just put
Oh
through
yeah,
there.
for that lineup, yeah, that midfield. You
I-
had
I-
Arnaud,
That's the
Stevenson.
problem.
I don't like the creativity in the midfield. We need more creativity there. Yeah.
So that's the
Sporty
problem.
Really had a whole lot there.
I think Benny, on his good days, he could.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
you know, he's settled into the holding midfield, so you could put him in the holding midfield and create from back there.
Holding Benny. No,
Yeah, no, that's definitely not where I'd put
No.
him. But I'm trying to work him into this current midfield.
we got to get him on the attacking half as much as we can.
Yeah.
He can play those unpredictable passes. Benny.
You might have to think about this and text me later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might look better on paper in my head right now.
It's hard to
You got a
do.
pretty good one though.
It's hard to do in your head because you're
Yeah. I
as
know.
you think of somebody, you're trying to replace them.
I know.
You know.
I
like,
know.
'cause
That's
you want to have Zusi on there, but then it's like, well, if you don't necessarily want to have him in midfield or as a
Listen,
winger, but
Susie got to be on the team.
Yes.
Is that as a right back or winger or attacking mid? I don't care.
exactly.
What he's done for this team here, he's got to be there.
Oh yeah.
So
No brainer.
I mean, I ended up putting him,
If that gonna cost Chance Myers the spot, it's costing him the spot then.
yeah. Unfortunately, I bumped Chance to put Zusi at right
Yeah,
back
yeah.
because I needed spots at midfield and wing.
Have you
So,
done the team yet?
I've done mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I on the team?
Oh yeah, you're starting.
Oh.
You're
We're still friends then.
you, Matt, Colin, and Zusi. I'm not gonna tell you who's at left back because it's not Seth.
All right, tell me then.
He's teasing this article that is not.
Oh, you're teasing now.
Well,
Yeah.
by the time this podcast comes out, I'll probably have published it because I've got it like 99% written. But Madranda,
Jimmy Madranda.
Jimmy.
he only played
Where
there
did he
for
go?
like a year and a half. But Nashville.
They stole him in the
Yeah.
expansion.
Yep.
I mean, I love Jimmy, and I think like he was a great one-on-one defender, but he wasn't a great team defender at first. But he kind of became way better at it.
You want to hear a funny story with him?
Yes,
of course we do.
please. So hard, I want to hear it.
I got him on loan in Oklahoma. And Peter told me on the phone, like, he's not fit. I said, all right, well, let's get him down here.
See what he's got.
So he coming down the day before a game on the bench. Playing a little bit 5v2 before. Played young versus old, set pieces, and a little walkthrough. He was exhausted after the session. And we're basically doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, this guy had not more than 15 minutes in him from what I'm going to ask for him to do. Unfortunately, I had to sub him in way earlier. After 10 minutes, he asked to be subbed out again. He was dead.
He didn't even get the 15 you
allowed. No. I said, you shut your mouth and you keep playing. And he fought through it. And to the people that don't know Jimmy Miranda, what a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What a darling.
Super nice guy.
I mean, just a sweetheart.
Infectious smile. Oh,
he is humble. He is funny. He is doing his best no matter where the heck you throw him.
Yep.
Are you throwing him in the goal? He will be diving around as a goalkeeper. He is. And
that is like the one thing that I think fitness-wise is his one weakness that he's had. Is if he'd have worked harder at that, he might have been starting.
And I think that hunted him down through his time in Kansas City. Of course, the injuries, but he never got fit to perform on a high level, 90-plus minute week after week. You would see it here and there, and that's probably why he got a long leash, because you saw that potential.
Yeah,
and
you could always see
you
the
could see,
potential.
like, can he have one healthy season where he can play week after week? He could do some damage.
Okay, a few names that you didn't mention on your all-time team. How about Julio Cesar?
I think maybe his time were a little bit too short.
Yeah.
And I thought he was good.
Yeah.
Good experience. Smart player.
Yeah.
But not too. I think there's players ahead of him.
Paulo Nagamura.
Nags. Oh, how did we forget about Nagamura?
He's on my all-decade team.
Yes.
We all forgot.
We got to find a way. Are you kidding me?
He's on the bench, I will admit. But
I'm going to slap myself.
he's on that team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I hate myself now.
Sorry, Nags, we forgot.
Come on.
No. Phenomenal player. Important player.
My favorite part
Kind
of
of the one we're talking a little bit, Roger Espinosa. Paulo Nagamura.
Yeah.
Very similar types of
Roger with the
style.
better engine. I think Naga maybe a little bit more.
But two tough players who is doing a lot of dirty work and don't need the credit, and not always the one in the headlines, but giving them the opportunities to shine.
One of his most underrated. Oh, the picture of that's what I was about to say. His most underrated aspect of his game was his fist pump. After all those PKs, man, the one in the MLS Cup, he triple fist pumps, and it is just glorious.
No. Well, this is not fair. You're sitting with the phone now and checking out all the players and throwing Paulo Nagamura at my head. Damn. Sorry, Naga. You're on the team. 100%.
Oh, of course he is.
Yes.
Any others over there, Bob?
I'm looking at the 2010 roster. I'm going way back here.
Yeah, that's too far.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. I didn't include anybody pretty much from the 2010 roster except the ones I've already named, because they just weren't in a lot of the guys like Davey didn't play as much in the decade or have as much success.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be on my 2010 decade team.
Yeah. But sorry, Naga. Of course he's on the team. Should be the first one we put in there. No, I'm not kidding you.
So
With a guy like Naga, a guy like Roger, it's hard to lose when you have guys like that on the roster, even if they're not playing right at that moment.
They are the guys that you want to play with, not against. Mm-hmm. We had a game against Salt Lake. Don't remember what year. After 1 minute, Begeman went after Roger, and he got him bad.
Yeah.
that
Nasty.
was a classic matchup.
Like a nasty one after 1 minute. And Roger went up to Kyle Begeman and told him, and I heard it, if you have more than one touch on the ball the rest of this game here, I'm going to end your career. For 89th minute plus overtime, Kyle Begeman played with one touch.
Nice.
Were you there for the preseason fight?
Yeah.
I don't know. I should probably not ask you about that.
I didn't participate.
Yeah.
There was two players not involved in that fight.
You and Nick?
Correct. I am seeing everyone start fighting, and I'm like, damn. Well, I got to get up there and join in. And then I hear this little guy from the halfway line yelling my name. I'm like, he can't be serious. You want to fight me? I'm like, Jimmy. I said, what the fuck? He's like, get over here. I said, what's your problem? He said, I don't have a problem. Let's watch it from here.
It's like those hockey fights. The goalies will go stand there and just like kind of hold each other's jerseys from a distance and like pretend to be caring.
We stood there and had a beautiful view and saw some stuff that don't belong on a soccer field.
How many red cards did you get in your career?
Are you kidding me? You got to bring that up.
I know one.
I had one, and that was at the opening game.
The very first game.
At the stadium against Chicago.
So that's the only one.
Yeah, thanks for ruining that one for us.
Yeah.
Well, that was why I was bringing that up, because I wanted to say no one can ever take that from you. The first red card in the stadium.
All right, I got to throw out another name. Yuri Rosell.
I was just assuming you were going with Ilya over Yuri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Yeah. As much as I love Yuri.
Yeah, exactly.
Ilya,
Yeah.
actually, I hate to say this, but I have Ilya on the bench.
Yeah, well, it could be a preview of the season.
Ooh. So, speaking of that, does anyone have any more history questions? I mean, we could go on like this forever.
Of course we could.
But anyone have any ones ready for him, or should we move on to hearing his thoughts on the current team?
Let's move on.
Let's do it. So that ends the first installment of, again, the nameless 25-year look back that we have.
It might be the best name we come up with is the
no name.
yet to be named history of.
Yeah. So, disappointing season last year. I'm sure. Do you keep an eye on what Sporting is doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. When I cut my hands, I'm bleeding blue. So of course I'm paying attention.
Man, the guy loves Kansas City. He bleeds Sporting blue.
It's when you have been through what I've been through with this team and stuff like that, you're not gonna forget. And I always pay attention. I unfortunately haven't seen as much as I can, but following the scores and seeing highlights and whenever I have the opportunity to watch them on TV or on the computer, wherever we are, I of course am, but not as much as I wanted, but that could change.
So yeah, disappointing past season, an uncharacteristic season for this club.
Yeah,
But
I think the headline for that season were injuries, and they might had to peak a little bit too early because of the Champions League.
They did.
And that ended up hunting them and bite them in the ass
fun.
later on.
It was fun briefly.
It was.
They were amazingly good at the beginning.
Bob's got to get his shot in here.
Somebody wrote an article about that happening.
Oh, he did?
He took some heat writing an article that some of the headline of that they should lose the Champions League.
I didn't say that.
But that's a tough balance. Of course, you representing a whole soccer organization in America
and this club especially, like you got to go for trophies with this club.
I agree, and combination of maybe have to peak a little bit too early and some bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But shit goes hand in hand sometimes, and it was. I'm not saying it was a depressing season. I think we saw moments of what they're able to do, but the consistency were not there. But they also struggled to put a consistent lineup out.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of injuries.
That's in my head the first thing that come to me when I hear about Sporting's 2019 season. That's injuries.
And then once there was all those injuries and they started to have the bad games, then I think it was a compounding factor with confidence, because once something went wrong, I think it was in their head that they wouldn't recover from it.
Yeah, a lot of times they had the lead and bumped that away. But
hey, guys, new season,
yes.
2020.
I think there's a lot of the short time I've been here, a lot of positive and a lot of positive energy about the team. Everyone is pretty optimistic for the 2020.
Well,
which is going to be a very competitive year.
Yeah, MLS
definitely.
3.0. Yeah. Just a whole nother ball game of spending, at least for this club.
$9.5 million transfer fee on one striker.
Well, it's it's necessary. You see all the other teams. Kansas City have done it for years now, and done it the cheaper way with a lot of success. Developed a lot of their own players, but you see with the bigger teams coming in now and spending a shit ton of money, and if you want to be a part of the fun positions in the standings, it's going to cost you money.
Okay, so
it will.
Number 9 with that money. Where else do you think they need to beef up things?
That at this point here, I'm not the right guy to ask.
Right.
Yes, I need to dig in a little bit more to the team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honest answer. I like that.
Yeah.
Or the politically correct one that he doesn't want to say. It could be either.
I would be 100% honest and not afraid of giving my opinion, but I don't know enough about the team at this point here.
No, I will give you credit that you've always answered honestly. You'd either say I can't say that, or you will honestly answer. And that was one of the things I loved about you as the captain. Was hey Jimmy, what happened today? And we sucked, or we did this, or we did that. But you were always honest about it. You were the one that was always willing to step up and talk. I always admire that, and I think that was one of the things that I wish was still there.
So where is up for this organization? They've added the training facility. They've started to invest some money, in players. Where would you say that the next step for this organization would be, or is there one?
Oh, of course. I think that the whole organization is motivated for more success.
Sure.
Now they went into the off season with probably a little shitty taste in their mouth, and sometimes that's a little slap in the face and an eye opener, and you don't want to be in that feeling anymore. Everyone's got to step up. It's the coach got to step up, the players got to step up, the owners got to step up. Everyone's got to buy into this year. That cannot be done alone by the owner or by Peter. It's a team effort. Where everyone's got to buy in a little bit more and give a little bit more from themselves.
Can it be turned around in 1 year?
Yes. 100% yes.
Yeah, man, they didn't end at the
I
bottom
don't
of the league.
think they have taken away the foundation of the team. That's still there. They just got to add the right pieces about the foundation.
Well, a lot of people did want to see that foundation get torn apart and start anew.
Well, I think people should have faith in coach making those decisions, see them day in and day out. And I know that there's no one else in this country here who wants more success for this team here than Peter Vermees.
Yes.
And he's not going to bring them back if he didn't think they could bring something to the group. So, of course, they're getting back because they're believed in, and he think they can still bring something to the table.
Yeah. If there's one guy that's not going to be resting on past success, that's Peter.
100% yes.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I admire from him too.
He could win yesterday and not be satisfied.
Of course.
Now, you've been in the coaching ranks, obviously, since you quit playing. Peter is not only the coach, but he's the technical director. Is that too much of a burden for one person?
No.
Or?
I think that role goes hand in hand, in my opinion. And I think the way they have set it up here, he has an amazing support around him. It's not like he's overwhelmed and have to sit there and make all decisions. Right. He's doing a great job of delegating work out to the great people he has around him. But what you very, very often see is a coach and a technical director is clashing heads. Always the technical director think you have a shit ton of talent in the team, and the coach always want more and more and more and clanging head, and the technical director blaming the coach is blaming the technical director. In the end of the day, you're hurting the city, you're hurting the supporter, and you're hurting the owner's wallet.
Very true.
Do you wish you'd have been able to train at Pinnacle?
Oh yeah.
Listen,
Swope was nice, right?
it's an amazing facility, but it's not like, oh, I wish I could have been a little bit. Listen, my career ended where it ended, and that's it. I had the pleasure to take my coaching license there, and wow, what a facility! Wow.
True that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Any parting words, thoughts, final
Besides
questions?
Gratefulness for even coming out here tonight.
No, it's been a massive pleasure to be here. When I got the text from you, I got happy, I got excited, and
Well, good, but you better be careful. Talking like that, we're going to invite you back. If you keep talking like this.
Well, let's just put it this way. You're welcome to come back as often as you want.
Open invitation.
So if you want to come back every week until you're tired of it, that's okay too.
well, you remember the radio show on was it 96.5?
Yeah. You used to come into the.
I ended up coming there every Wednesday.
And they've never been able to replicate that. They tried.
Oh, they did?
They tried to a couple different players.
Yeah.
And it just never worked out. Nobody ever liked doing it as much as you did.
The key to succeed is consistency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for our pod here, we were very consistent for a while.
Yeah.
We have to change days because of the way games are, you know, in life. But we were very consistent about doing it every week. And then we lost one of our members, and other things happened in life, and we kind of lost a little bit of consistency. And then over the holidays now, we've lost definitely consistency. But we're back on the path now, right, Cody?
Yeah, man.
And we got a bunch of weekend games this year. There's hardly any midweek, so that's good.
Oh, isn't?
Until there's Open Cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
They'll make another deep Open Cup run.
Yeah.
Well, to me, games should be played Saturday or Sunday. That's
Feels right.
it just feels right. It really
right.
does. Yeah.
But at the same time, you look at teams in England that are playing.
I
midweek
know,
games
but
all
you
the time.
can't compare Premier League and MLS. That's not fair.
Deeper rosters, bigger paychecks.
Yeah, and a longer and bigger history, and
Yeah.
the traditions and.
Okay, is that a stereotypical question we need to ask him?
What?
What would you compare MLS to in the world, league-wise?
Wow, that's a good question. I think it's a good mix of Scandinavian and a little bit more Scandinavian than South American. But I think you have to add that in, especially with all the Hispanic players in the league. A great combination of Scandinavian and South America. A lot of hard working with a big heart. You have a lot of fun and exciting players with good creativity and
But a pretty physical league.
it's still a physical league.
Yeah.
It is, and fast game, entertaining game. When I last year on a Sunday have watched the Danish Superliga, and then when that's done, you had an early Sunday afternoon MLS game. It was like night and day.
Yeah,
But
it is.
none of it were bad. But it was just
Different.
styles were a little tactical, and
Well, I was told
everyone's
that.
got to get behind the ball. Where MLS were boom, 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 boom. But that's also getting better. It used to be worse. I mean, when I played in 2010 and came home after one of the games, I thought I've never faced so many shots in my life in a game. I'm like, what the hell happens here? But then I, of course, started paying attention to the other games. But all right, this is fun, But
But it is getting better. Like you said, Sporting's kind of transitioned from the very physical, in-your-face team to almost a Barcelona
Yes.
kind of team.
Yeah.
They couldn't keep it up, obviously, last year, but the year before they were very much that way.
yeah, you got to find the right balance, and I'm sure they have learned a lot from last year, Kansas City, and I don't think you'll see them stubborn on they have to do this here. Sometimes they got to be more clinical and instead of maybe playing out from the back, just get it in behind the opponent. Nothing wrong with that sometimes. I think they learned a lot.
Don't frown on me for this question, but okay, a lot of people say
I'm already frowning. I haven't heard
LAFC
it.
put Atlanta United in the English First Division. You play with Norwich, Millwall. Would they survive? Would they compete there?
In the first division, you're not saying Premier League.
No, I'm saying First Division. What are you saying?
Could they stay up?
Yeah.
In the Premier League?
No, first division.
Champions.
Oh,
You say
that's what
championship,
you're
right?
saying.
I said, could they compete in the First Division Championship? Yeah.
Yes. I think they could, but I think it's. I think it would be hard for them because it's different. Different. I think.
But is that a fair place where an MLS team would fit, in your mind?
I think you can even go a little bit further and say bottom Premier League. Okay. Yeah.
So I agree with that, but I always have to add in the caveat of the
but of course you
roster
can't,
restrictions are the problem.
But you can't compare like Burnley and Atlanta United, but it's two completely different style of play too.
Sure.
If Atlanta joined into Premier League, they probably had to adjust their style a little bit to survive in Premier League and do it more like Burnley or what do we have in the bottom now? I don't even remember. Southampton, Norwich. I think my old team is down there, but I think that if you have to find equal level, I think the bottom Premier League.
I just thought of a question. Did you have anything to do with Kei going to Norwich?
No.
Okay.
No. The coach I had in Norwich City, and you can investigate that yourself, got caught for some very, very, very nasty stuff, so I have no relationship with him.
No relationship, though.
Yeah.
In the past couple years now, former player Mo Johnston helped bring Johnny Russell over. Apparently, Omar Bravo helped steer Alan Pulido here. You going to send us any talent from the homeland?
Listen, I'm not going to reach out. I know they have a lot of good people in to make those decisions. If they ask for my help, I will, of course, help. But I'm not going to bring anything to the table unless I'm asked.
Right.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we could just continue this forever. I say we maybe try to go for a beer.
We could, but it's hot in here.
And I know, that's what I'm saying. Get me the hell out of the studio. It's so hot here. So that's it for us tonight. We're going to get out of here. Thank you very much for listening. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Blue Testament KC. Join us at thebluetestament.com and leave us a comment. Huge thank you to Jimmy for coming out tonight. We'll talk to you soon. White Puma!
The other side don't seem so tough, and 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this foot on